introducing my players. First, we will start with Azure, played by.
Played by Starmie827, and Azure is a half-elf paladin.
Then we have Raz, played by.
Will, and Raz is a half-elf bard of the lore variety.
Then we have Sylvia, played by.
A still kind of hungry Cerulean. And Sylvia is, as always, a human sorcerer warlock.
Next is Okoru, played by.
Jarwolf, and Okoru is a tenacious bugbear monk.
And last, and certainly most shortest, is Ivar, played by.
Rayanaga, and Ivar is a gray dwarf eldritch knight.
Marvelous. Okay, so when last our adventures were intrepid, the party had stumbled upon a drow town in the Underdark. Or, sorry, not the Underdark. Technically, we were there in the Undermountain, and you had slaughtered basically every single one of the myriad of creatures that lived here. And actually, I'm going to move him. And shit, who's targeting him?
With one exception who we spared.
Yes, delete item. Well, hopefully that'll fix it. Anyways, so having made your way through all of that mountain of bodies that you've all shoved into that little storage area that Azure was in, you had also just begun the process of looting the entire village, and I don't see any notes to myself about this play
Wait.
session. Yes,
I think there was a note.
there could be.
Yes, there was one note. We are looting the fucking bodies.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a little bit complicated. Let me try getting started on that.
And while you're doing that, I have a actually, this might help out a bit. A quick, what's it called? Shoot, what's it called when you never mind. I'm looking through my inventory and I realized that I have a map of the 3rd level.
Oh,
that
so
copy-
you do.
I think everyone should probably look through their inventory real fast and make sure we aren't forgetting fucking stuff we have, because I sure as hell have.
So you do indeed find something on one of the bodies. Now, for the rest of the bodies, they do have stuff. They have the swords and the chainmail that they have, but none of that stuff is magical, which to me automatically makes me think that you have zero interest in it.
Right.
And that's fine.
Unless we can sell it for gold.
You
Like if one of
could,
them's in full plate or some shit like that,
but
we'll drag
unfortunately,
that to the surface.
yeah, you guys didn't bring a pack mule, so
Yeah, we did.
ultimately,
His name's Okoru.
even Okoro has his limits on what he can carry. You need an actual pack mule. But regardless, this scarab is found on one of the bodies of a drow that you found. Now, he also had 35 gold pieces on him. That's been added to the party sheet as well. The scarab brooch is inscribed with an insignia, and those of you, I think there's Raz at least, you're half elf, right?
Yes.
You're familiar with Elvish script enough to recognize that this is a symbol that represents. You scared the shit out of me. Well done. Hi, Mrs. Rosio. Um, look up the rest of this dungeon. Why do I have a note for that? That's a strange reminder. Anyway, sorry. Oh, loot the rest of this dungeon.
Yes.
Okay, that's my reminder. Anyways, this symbol is likely that of a noble house. So this is probably just, a nice piece of jewelry. It would be worth at least 25 gold pieces. It's made out of a scarab of some sort, and it's been altered to look like a spider. And there is a house symbol on the back of it, which you are unfamiliar with.
They did say that they were part of some kind of house that they were trying to take over the.
In that case, this would be the
Undermountain.
scarab brooch of House Avrindar. Auvryndyar. And I'm checking to see if anybody else has worthwhile treasure. Oh, I will also remind you guys that you picked up an elemental gem of water.
Yep, it is in my inventory.
There's that.
Can I
And
roll history on the brooch?
you
Of
can, but give me a
j-
second. This
oh,
is
no problem.
important. Where Sylvia is, this is an important set of quarters. I vaguely remember having already gone through it with you.
Yes, we found the key.
Yeah.
You found the what?
The key.
So,
And chest that opened the
Yes.
key.
Yes.
Wait, no, the key that opened the chest.
That opened the chest, which means you have everything in the chest.
the wizard stuff, yeah.
Okay, then I don't have to do that. So then the scarab brooch is the only non-magical piece of treasure that you find, and actually the only thing of made out of gold pieces. Apparently, the rest of these drow aren't really paid here for some reason. So there's that. Anyways, sorry. Back to you, Raz.
Um,
History. Oh, and everybody roll
yes, I just
perception.
all right. I just want to roll history to make sure that Ooh, hello, perception. History to know whether or not holding on to that's a good thing, bad thing,
Okay,
irrelevant thing,
sure.
whether it'll be useful, etc. I know nothing about this scarab brooch.
Nope.
Brooch.
I'll give it a try.
Ooh, Ivar. Okay, so Ivar, you guys all mull over the implications of this scarab. Um, as you're looking at it, Ivar asks to hold it for a moment. He flips it over and he considers it for a minute. He says, "Look, there's a pin on the back," and he says, "Well, especially, this wasn't on him at the time, but it looks like this is something that you would sort of pin to your chest. So it might actually be for what's the word I'm looking for? Government functions. There's a better word for that in this context, but yeah, government functions. It would be something that you wear when other houses are meeting up, and it shows which house you are associated with. And then people would treat you well or with revulsion, depending on their relation to you. But as for whether or not it is dangerous for you to keep, the only thing that might be dangerous about it is if, for example, you were wearing it, didn't know anything about House of Rundar, and somebody else questioned you about it. That could be bad. Or if you wore it in the presence of somebody else who is part of that house, they would also likely be quite upset with you, assuming that you took it off of a corpse.
Quite understandable.
Yes, I would think so. So there's one other little thing that I want to do before I go any further, which is reveal this, because you guys are going to be exploring around now. So it's okay.
With a map, yes.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that you reminded me I was supposed to talk about. So now that you have this map, or sorry, now that you remember you have this map, um, you're comparing it to the floor that you've already found. You are uncertain whether this map was accurate in the first place or not, but it is currently inaccurate. The short amount of the floor that you've already found did not have even the T intersection at the stairs. It had a four-way intersection that branched off into a series of perfectly geometrical corridors, which this region itself does not match either. Um, Additionally, um,
Hmm.
no, I think that's pretty much it. The short of it is simply that it looks like the map is inaccurate.
Or it's for a different floor.
It could be,
Mhm.
yeah,
Does it map since we saw the 3D map
yes.
of all 20 floors, does it seem to match a different floor like in
Well,
base
that
layout?
that map um, was from the side, so there's no
Oh,
detail as to what is on any given floor.
okay.
And additionally, there are, I believe, 23 levels as opposed to just 20.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah,
So we have a map of a level that was 3 at the time, and then everything got reshuffled.
That's a possibility, yes. Especially
Mhm.
because can I think of some examples? Oh, the room where you found the heart. That was not part of the original dungeon. It was added later. This space is actually part of the original dungeon and does not appear to have been altered by Helaster, especially given the fact that it's just falling apart.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so you've searched there. I'm going to create some quick pointers. Let me try this here. These pointers are rooms that have pins on the map. In other words, stuff was planned for the inside of them, because you guys are going to be able to explore all of this anyways. So I can just tell you that anything that doesn't have a arrow pointing to it is empty and dusty. Why did that not work? Pointer, 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 pointer. And additionally, none of those rooms up to the north contain anything. Pointer, and you already searched that room, and I'm just double checking to make sure there are no additional pins. Nope, that's it.
All right. I think Okoro should stumble into the bugbear room because that seems appropriate.
Okay. When you guys arrived, you actually smelled some sort of meat cooking in this building.
Mhm.
And so when you open up the door, in the inside, you find that there is a there are stone counters spread throughout the room. There's a large
Mhm.
cauldron that's hung above a fire in the southwest corner, and uh, there are there's one manacled bugbear and 3 goblins all shackled together, and they're shackled by their ankles, and they're preparing, or they were preparing meals. They seem to have taken a break since the guard or guards that they had left. Incidentally, you did happen to find a key throughout the whole looting of things, but I didn't want keys to get confused because they can be for a variety of things, but that key happens to fit these shackles. Um, Now that you're in here, you can see that that cauldron contains a hearty stew of fungus and some variety of meat that's unfamiliar to you.
Okay. Uh,
Sounds
Okoro.
good.
So the shackled folks, they can move around. They're just like chained to like ultimately to the wall. They're not like
And each other,
chained up.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they can move around, but their chains do not stretch sufficiently to allow them to access the door out.
Okoro takes note of the bugbears and goblins and says in goblins, "Kinky."
They look at you with surprise. It's not often that they encounter people that speak their language. And I'm drawing this sentence. Aha, found it. Um, they exchange glances briefly, and actually, let me put it in Goblin for you. G Goblin.
Sylvia also goes in and waves.
Oops,
That one ended at "we" for some reason.
because I accidentally
Wee.
hit enter.
Oh, okay. See, I was just going to assume that wasn't a you fuck up. That was a program fuck up.
Oh no, there's no program. It's just me typing. Let me see here. Uh, I hope that's accurate. Let me check something real quick before I say that. Um, Shit, I don't know where his room is on this. Bear with me a moment.
Sure.
I feel kind of left out of this conversation. Like, I know 6 words of Goblin, and they're all swear words you taught.
I taught you the best swear words.
This
I
guy.
can't argue with that.
Oh, okay.
I like that one about what you do to an opponent's brother is just malicious.
Whoops. Once again, I cut that off early. Sorry about that.
The enter button is just too big and it's betraying you.
Well,
You know what that. Go ahead, Alex.
what I was gonna say is that in order to make room for the my notes and the book, I pushed the keyboard up onto the monitor stand, so I have to like stretch my arms almost their entire length to type. Finally return the.
I have a habit when I'm typing on like Discord of accidentally hitting the enter button when I mean to hit the apostrophe key.
Oh no.
And so Alex and I talk on Discord all the time, and he'll get like, 2.5 sentences that end with a, there or a I, because I'm in the middle of typing the sentence and I hit enter instead of apostrophe on a contraction. And I'm one of those people who actually, correctly grammatically types things.
There we go. Okay. That should be the entirety of it now that it's been broken up 3 fucking times.
Exposition dump.
Okoru says to them, and he'll explain to the party in a little bit. Okoru says to them in Goblin, in the name of Hruggic, the bugbear god of slaughter, we have removed the heads of the leaders of this band, and no ugly elf remains alive here.
Okay.
I heard the name Hruggic, and I'm going to roll religion on that. Yeah, I guess I think I misheard it or something.
Brandon.
Is that the goblins saying that, or is that
No, that's goblins.
Well, I mean, is it the goblins or is it the bugbears saying that?
Ah, I see. The goblins in this particular case. The bugbear gave the exposition. The goblin said this.
Okay. He looks at Sylvia and he says, "We're gonna let these folks go. They're gonna help us out." And he goes up to the bugbear and says, "I'm in charge, yeah?" Are you typing a reaction or?
Yes.
Okay. Okoru laughs and says, yeah, I mean, hang out with me, yeah? Till we get you back.
Oh. There.
Okay.
All right, so let me take a second before I... Okay. Will you free them now?
Yes. If I have the key.
You guys have the key.
Okay. So as he unshackles the bugbear, who he looks at and he's like, "You're a biggin. You're like twice my size for some reason." Uh, and then he looks at the goblins. You don't have
Oh,
to give
you
them
know
to
what?
me.
I think I would actually rather keep him big because now we can tell him apart from you.
And he, asks everybody their requisite names. Says, you know, says,
Which means Alex has to come up with it, of course.
yeah, Alex doesn't need to give me the names right now. He just makes pleasantries, asserts his dominance, bugbear things. Uh, and then he explains to the party that so these guys were captured. They're working for a hobgoblin who's their leader. The leader's name is Azrock, and it's a good name. Hobgoblins are pretty militant. They're probably a pretty militant party, but we bring them back these troops, and we can get in with the hobgoblins. They they do things by the book.
Okay, I've got your names.
Okay.
Since these are names, would I be able to like understand names even if it's being spoken in Goblin?
Hold on. There we go. It would be difficult to tell them apart from actual words unless somebody like beats their chest and says their name and nothing else,
Uh,
or unless Okoru cares to translate. But
Okoru will translate and like beat his chest, Okoru, then point at Drench the bug or sorry, Dench the bugbear. And then are there 4 goblins with us or
oh, there are 3.
uh,
I'm so sorry. I thought I was counting 4
just
total.
go
And
with
the
just go
first
with
3.
the first 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Fang, Gel, and Henk. Henk the Hunk goblin.
Dench,
Oh,
Gel,
hold on a
Hank,
second.
and what's the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, Fang. I didn't
There you
catch
go.
that one.
Okoru laughs mightily at that comment. He's not really sure if it's true or not, but he wants to believe it. more power to you, Hank Green. Okay,
Anyways, they're content to sort of wait here for the time being, and you can come back and grab them on your way out. So feel free to explore elsewhere in the meantime.
sure. Okoru asks for dinner, or I guess it's probably about lunchtime.
Oh,
So whatever other party members want to do, I think he's going to take a bit of a short rest and hang out with his new buddies.
okay, sounds good. Where to next? I will delete pointers as places are discovered.
How about that little room near the entrance that got fireballed repeatedly?
Let's see here. Remove that pointer. Oh,
It's very
oh.
lucky that the entrance to this room is not the entrance to the hobgoblin room is not within fireball range, or else we would have had 4 toasted goblins.
So it was kind of difficult to tell this in battle, but it's easier to tell in retrospect. One of the drow had an unusual pair of pants on. And now that you've entered this room, you understand why. Because his pants are actually on the floor here, because this is a latrine. There is a bucket that contains leavings, and apparently the drow was in the process of using it, struggled, uh, knocked over the bucket in the process, so this room reeks, and then it got onto his pants, so he simply shucked them off, and he must have been wearing some set of underpants because it is rather chill here.
I'm gonna prestidigitate those pants to clean them up.
I'm gonna prestidigitate the goddamn fucking room if I have that cantrip.
Yeah, it's just
I don't. I'm going
Uh,
to
I can
leave
do
the
it.
room quickly then.
you know,
It's a cantrip. I can just do it a bunch.
it's very kind of you to clean up their latrine, but you know they're not gonna need it anymore. Neither will the owner of the pants.
It's the principle of the thing. Also, what's up north? Are there
Oh,
any of
so
those marked rooms?
all of those spaces are abandoned. They haven't been used in quite some time. I half wonder if they didn't forget about it, but there's spaces in this area that are also abandoned and have no purpose. So, okay,
Alright.
in
You
here.
mentioned, sorry, you mentioned the pants were unusual, but I'm
Oh,
assuming that's just describing them being soiled.
I wanted to distinguish him from anyone else. He's wearing long johns, and so his pants look different from other people's pants, and then his pants were left behind here, and that's how you know these are his pants. Does that make sense?
Okay, so they're not like magical pants or anything.
No. Uh, uh, this chamber reeks, and it reeks in a very different way from the latrine you were just in. It has a dreadful mildew stench, and looking about, it actually looks like this is likely where all of those troglodytes came from. They have a very distinctive smell, and this matches the corpses that you found, which somehow managed to smell worse.
Fuck this drow encampment.
Okay, hold on while I remove that pointer, remove that, and then remove that. Okay, this room also reeks of death and decay. It's strewn with rocks and heaps of splintered armor and broken weapons. And in looking about and sort of examining it, since the space is otherwise empty, um, oh, okay. Let me get to that in a second. As you're making your way towards the back of the room, you're investigating. You see these armor and broken weapons. They're about the same size as those goblin creatures that you found. A lot of this stuff is, and it's the same kind of quality, even though it's broken. So it looks like this may have belonged to goblins or bugbears, maybe even hobgoblins at some point. Um, and you remember some very strange-looking creatures that I don't think you ever identified uh, before they were all killed. And as you make it all the way to the back, you follow the scent of decay and discover a pile of severed goblin and hobgoblin heads tucked behind a wall of rocks near the south end of the room. And that's underneath that is a pile of bones from goblinoid humans or
How many
humanoids.
goblins?
They're probably, it's a little difficult to tell because there's a lot of bones that make up a skeleton. It
I'm going off of heads.
Oh, okay. In that case, there's about 32 that have been slaughtered in this space.
Raz is just gonna yell back to Okoro. Can you ask how many were in their little warband?
Oh,
Sure,
okay, I'm on it.
he does so. By the way, he asks Dench if Dench speaks Goblin. He'll keep talking to him in Goblin, but
Dench
he's
does.
scared.
He spoke to you already in that language. It's just hard for me to distinguish between them.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, Okoru has sat down invited them to a meal with him.
Okay, I'm putting something in brackets for narration.
Okay. He relays to Ivar, who is nearby. Looks like there were 4 separate contingents of these dudes. All of them were wiped out except for these guys.
The lucky survivors.
Probably. Well, they're gonna be in for some shit when they get back to their warband, but not my ass to wipe. probably around 40 dead. Sounds like the corpses were, or maybe the living goblins were made some treats for some Grimlocks. Do I know what a Grimlock is? Have we encountered
Grimlocks.
one?
Not in this game, which means no. So if you guys want to roll a religion check, we can
Will do.
try to figure it out. Let me go find it in the NPCs.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yikes. Well then.
So all you're able to tell is approximately what they look like, and this is them.
Oh,
Oh,
we
okay.
saw one of those.
You
Yeah,
saw
we
a
blew
few
up
of them
like three
actually.
of them.
We
Yeah.
failed at identifying them last time.
You really don't know what these creatures are. So
Oh,
yeah.
Okoro says to Dench, he kind of looks confused. He thinks for a second, looks confused, and says, "Grimlocks, we killed a lot of things, including things I don't think I know. Which one were the Grimlocks?"
I'm gonna speak this because I don't want to type the text that I see in here. Um, they're a degenerate race that was subterranean race that were once human, but their worship of mind flayers over generations of prowling the Underdark transformed them into blind, monstrous cannibals ages ago. So now they're their own separate race.
Oh,
Very
they're
handsome.
just worse humans.
Yes, but having to recast Tensor's disk a few times and worry about concentration is a bit of a pain in the ass.
I mean, that's true, but it is a ritual for me.
Granted. Anyways, that's what you discover.
He slides Dench a beer in an elf skull.
Beer drips out through the nose hole.
I actually fixed those up with my wood carving ability.
Oh, that's
they
right.
they are functional mugs now.
Well done.
All right, Sylvia, you choose next. I have a really bad fucking track record at this point
Of finding poo.
of finding poo, dead things, rot.
All right. I think let's go for this bottom one here.
12 bedrolls are spread out on the floor of this room, and 6. Oh, nope. Nope. Let's see here. Snatch up weapon. I don't need to cover that stuff.
Because everybody involved is dead.
Wow, that's literally all the description because everybody involved is dead. This was a drow barracks. There's bedrolls. It looks like all their equipment was taken up with them because there's weapon racks, but there's nothing on them. And furthermore, the only treasure that would have been here is that brooch, and you've already claimed it because the owner is dead elsewhere.
Okay, so there's like nothing usable here,
Um,
unless we want to like take the bedrolls and give them to the goblins and bugbear.
well, yeah, you could try that.
All right,
I mean, I'll do
next,
that.
Sylvia.
Okay.
Oh, Okoro introduces anybody who comes in. He's perfectly polite.
I brought you these things.
Huh.
I drop off the couple of
Bedrolls.
bedrolls for their use.
Okay.
You want some fungus stew?
You know what? That sounds really damn good, right?
It certainly smells good. It is a hearty meal, but that seems to be due more to the meat that is involved than anything else.
What is the meat that they're eating?
That's a good question that Okoro probably doesn't care about the answer to, but that's a good question.
What's the answer then? I posted it.
Yeah, and what is this?
Okoro.
Oh,
I will insult your ass.
troglodyte.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't have any. Moving on.
Nom 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 nom. Okoro just
Not
happily
bad.
keeps eating. Yeah.
Oh God.
No.
This again.
It's
Tell the truth,
lunchtime.
I had a lot of like hungry Hungry Summers. I don't want to do that again. So
It's only
th-
slightly gamey.
It does have a very particular flavor, I will say.
real
Um,
savor somehow. Um,
so setting that aside, where will you? There. So with this room, you open up the door, and this room contains 11 padded bedrolls, and they're spread throughout the room atop some small stone slabs. Now, each of these beds also happens to be paired with a small chest that doubles as a side table. You open up the chest; it's unlocked, and it contains simple black clothes. And in fact, it seems that this particular set of quarters is mostly being used for storage. None of these bedrolls smell at all, which means that they were not used.
you
Are
got
drow
cut off.
are drow particularly smelly?
No, but considering that there are limited facilities here for them to wash anything, just using bedrolls over and over and over and over again over months will eventually cause them to smell.
Hmm.
And all I was just saying was that they don't particularly smell. So yeah.
Okay. Bowl of stew in hand, Sylvia joins Raz in this.
Okay. Anchored to the rafters by short chains are four unlit iron lanterns. Uh, there is a solid stone table that fills the western side of the room, and the table is sized for dwarves, and it has shorter legs than most. There are stone benches that run the length of the table on either side, and a single stone chair stands at the end. There is a few plates that have been scattered about. It appears that this is an old dining hall that's simply been repurposed for what it was originally used for by the Drow and probably bust by the Goblinoids.
I mean, that's easy, but I already got my bowl with me.
Well, you would finally have a place to sit. Let's see here.
It's alright.
Since
I'll set the
since
bowl down.
Okoru is sitting down and having lunch, can I roll some hit dice to heal up
Actually,
for a
if
short
you
rest?
guys want to do a short rest, that's fine with me. You can all roll some.
Could we do a long rest?
Yeah, we're all
There's plenty of
really, really dry.
yeah, like that room that you discovered, the unoccupied quarters. You could all actually sleep in something close to a bed, so you can definitely do a long rest. This room, however, contains it looks like a brutal murder. There's a troglodyte that's entrails and whatnot are spread all about the room. Troglodytes reek when they're dead and apparently not cooked. And so, yeah, that's what you discover here.
I'm assuming this is the kitchen.
No, you found the kitchen already. This is possibly the location where the
So
Quaggoths lived.
Oh.
Well,
It
I
does
don't want
smell
to
like
stay in
wet
here.
fur.
Ugh.
Now, the door to this room is locked, but you already found the appropriate key. So when you open it up, the building is full of cobwebs, and a 3 foot tall oval mirror hangs on the western wall. Eerily realistic spiders are carved into its stone frame, almost appearing to twitch and crawl as you approach it. When a creature, uh, blah, 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 okay, and that's it.
I'm gonna grab one of the cobwebs and like try to
I'm sorry, rub it on what?
rub it on the mirror.
Oh, okay. Um, as soon as you approach within 5 feet, your reflection disappears and is replaced by the shadowy face of a giant spider obscured by smoke.
What in the hell?
Hold on a second.
you become a spider.
Oh, okay. Uh, wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for what?
Me to type.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is spoken in Elvish, and then the mirror shatters and falls to the floor.
Ouch! Shit! Got glass shards on me.
Raz is just going to raise an eyebrow and be like, "I'm glad I was not in that mirror."
Well, great, but what the hell did it say?
I know who you are, and your crimes against Lolth will be avenged. You're scry fodder.
Well, great.
And that's the contents of the room.
I mean, I kind of piss off Lolth by existing and not being a drow anyway, but yeah,
Well,
great.
now she's specifically pissed off. Anyways, this entire area has been completely explored, so I'm gonna go quickly and do the rest, 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 rest. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you have any other notes on your character sheet that are related to your rested state, please be sure to update those as well. And right, so at this point, unless you'd care to backtrack and re-explore some of the stuff near the entrance, the only way out of here is to the southwest.
Which way? Asking the bugbear and the goblins, which way is it to their warband?
To the southwest. Do you want them to specifically guide you in that direction?
Yeah, of
Um,
course. Well, if
actually,
everybody else is okay with that.
I kind of want to explore near the entrance just to, because it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch that's going to be over there.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well.
Okay.
I'd rather be certain nothing's following us.
Let me switch my notes back to the appropriate section.
So we could vote, since
Oh,
Alex
yeah, yeah,
loves
yeah.
the.
Hold on a second.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too.
All right,
Okay.
vote concluded. So just move yourselves, lay yourselves out near that space off to the east, wherever you want to be, and then once you're all set, I will describe it. I think I'm going to go ahead and just reveal the whole thing.
Okoro explains to Dench and the goblins, just travel with us. We're going to backtrack a little and make sure nothing had been following us from the other floors. Stick with us. We'll get you where you need to go.
Okay, let's consider them as following you, regardless of
Mhm.
where they are on the map. I don't want to move them
Sure.
around all the time because I have to move them individually.
That's fine.
Yeah. So,
He wants to keep an eye on them.
right. So, anyways, you're going to move into this room in stealth mode because I see you've already rolled it. Let me roll this. Okay. Um,
I mean, I would assume also that they've grabbed to defend themselves, but whatever.
yeah.
I mean, we can equip them with whatever the corpses had on them.
Oh. Huh. They actually don't have attacks. That's interesting. Okay. I don't know. I'll grab some other goblin or something. Anyways, this space, you find that there are shelf-like niches carved into the walls that you see, and they're stacked 3 high. Each of these open spaces contains the dust-covered bones of a long-dead dwarf. And considering how old the structures you found are, a very long dead dwarf. Now, there are also carvings. Smooth carved walls bear engraved imagery of mountains marbled with veins of glittering minerals, and the floor is also made of marble and is caked in dust.
I already have a dwarf skull. I don't need one of these.
Actually, one of the other things is, let me check something real quick. Yeah, you notice as you're exploring the room, due to all the caked in dust, there are a set of footprints that started at the beginning of the room and made themselves all the way up to the northern exit.
Okay. Okoro
Can
says,
I investigate?
dwarf stuff.
Can I investigate the footprints to determine what race, how long ago, etc.?
Yeah, is that survival or?
Yes,
What is that?
survival is to investigate footprints.
Okay.
Boo.
I might as well give it a try.
Ugh.
Nope.
Nope.
Yikes.
Unless Okoro can save the day. Nope.
Humorously enough, still did better than Azure. But you know, trained versus untrained. So, yeah, you guys look at these footprints. It's really difficult to get much of a sense about them. This person was probably fairly large. You doubt it was a dwarf, um, due to the size of the footprints. So yeah, unless of course he was some sort of clown dwarf with like massive feet. Let me see here. Are you guys gonna just generally search through the room?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Raz is going to very quietly. You said it was towards the north entrance or the east entrance?
The footprints out?
Yeah.
The north exit.
Just gonna cast invisibility on themselves and also, can you unprone me?
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Prone. Gotcha.
While you're at it, could you remove detect magic, or
Yeah.
just everything, and I can recast?
Well, don't
Make
mark off the thing for it. I'm just gonna leave the AC3 there because I don't want to risk like you forgetting it and then having to go back in combat. Because we just know that it's always up as long as you're using the ability and not air quotes cheating. It's fine.
right.
Hmm. Oh, okay. So, as Raz makes their way up to the exit out of here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal this before I forget. Okay. As Raz makes her way up there, everybody's sort of investigating a lot of these dwarves, and you find what look like little chunks of metal, and you go to pick it up and investigate it, and as soon as you touch it, it turns to dust. So you're not certain if it was metal or not, but when it does, um, there are these strange little tiny stone beads with holes bored through them that sort of like fall out of the fragment of metal or whatever it was, and fall onto the floor. And you pick them up and look at them. They're I don't know, probably an inch and a half long total, different colors. You know, if they weren't so caked in dust, they might actually be rather pretty.
I'll press to digitate them to clean them off.
Okay. These are actually really rather pretty. They're probably not worth anything, but you're just kind of surprised that they were part of some metal fragment. If you want to try to figure out what they are, you could try to roll a history check.
Give it a try. It is not my night.
Yeah, you're not entirely certain what this is.
Someone should. Since Raz isn't paying attention, I'm not gonna roll for them.
Okay. So regardless, when you make it up to this exit, I'm gonna put a little marker on the map real quick. And then move this like that there.
The
There,
pizza appears.
yeah, a small pizza. It represents the partially rotted remains of what looks like a human. And what's left of his face is twisted into a silent scream. You might be able to make a medicine check to determine something about how he died.
Okay. Natural one incoming.
I already have a human skull. This is not one I need.
So,
Okay.
several different people investigate the body, and you all sort of point things out to one another and come up with your conclusion. There are several grisly wounds on the corpse, including one on his neck where the skin has peeled outwards, suggesting that something emerged from within. And all in all, there are some breeds of spiders that will implant their eggs inside of a host for maturation. And that's your best guess.
Fuck it. This is important enough. I cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. Bear with me just a second. I'm double checking to make sure I have the right information.
Also, before I cast Speak with Dead to make the invisibility go away, I'm gonna peek around this corner.
Okay. Oh,
Just make
bear
sure.
bear with me just a second, because this is a wavy tunnel. So let me see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So here. So I'm gonna go like this. There. That's as far as you can see. Okay, so you cast Speak with Dead, and there's a blank human spirit face that emerges out of the corpse, and it just looks forward blankly, waiting for a question. Now, I think you get a certain number of questions. I haven't read
3.
three. Okay, so ask your
Um,
questions.
however, just so you're aware,
Yes.
um, I'm sorry, I can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. It
Okay.
all knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to truthfully answer.
Okay.
You're hostile to it, or it recognizes you as an enemy.
That's all fine.
So, okay. Just first question: how did you die?
Um, the the human says, I died when I was captured by a giant spider, put into a cocoon, stuck with its offspring, and I managed to escape and only got to here uh, before the offspring matured and killed me in the process.
Were these the drow spiders?
Uh, I don't know.
Were they spiders from going to give directions to the drow area?
Oh, no.
Which direction did the spiders are the spiders from?
I'm going to give you a pointer. The spiders were in this direction.
Anything interesting? Any interesting tidbits you want to leave for the living?
Let me see. Yes. The oh that. Let me roll something real quick. Okay, I can go with that. Um, the spiders that implanted their offspring in me are phase spiders.
Oh fuck!
This is a phase spider.
Oh fuck!
Uh, P.S. Don't work too hard. It shortens your lifespan.
And then I have one more question. Anyone have a question, or should I just ask final one?
I would, I I would just want to know what sort of last rites he wanted because he clearly didn't get.
Yeah. Do you have any last rites you'd like performed, or people you'd like informed of your death?
I had no one. However, if I worshipped Joaquin in life, so if you can perform uh, rituals to her, I would be grateful.
Sylvia and Azure?
Neither of them follow Joaquin. However, I will give them a reduced religion check DC in order to know that specific information if they care to do it.
Yeah, I'll get that one incoming.
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
there
You
we go.
actually happen to be super familiar from a temple exchange. Yeah, that's right. Uh, so you're able to perform the important rituals as the spirit fades from his body.
Hmm. Well, there are face spiders in this direction, and I would like to point out, going to pull out the long dwarven key. We still have dwarven treasure to find on this floor, so
Hmm.
It's true. Yeah,
do we want to go left, or do we want to go to face spiders? Also, let's make a roll on face spiders to figure out what the fuck they are and what they do.
yeah. What is that? Arcana or nature?
It kind of straddles the two. So in this particular case, let's say whichever one is better.
Neither.
Okay. 15.
Good job,
You know,
Sylvia.
Raz is just gonna pop up and be like, "Phase spiders are teenage spiders that are going through puberty. It's all just a phase for them."
Okoro agrees with that.
Phase spiders possess the magical ability to phase in and out of the ethereal plane. It seems to appear out of nowhere and quickly vanishes after attacking. Its movement on the ethereal plane before coming back to the prime material plane makes it seem like it can teleport. Um, let me do a quick check on something planner-wise. Plane. Let me see something. Yeah, this is probably going to answer my question. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Um, oh, okay. Anyways, um, well, you already rolled a check. There's no reason for a second check. When a creature enters the ethereal plane, it can only be affected by creatures and spells present on that plane, meaning that you should not treat a phase spider like it's invisible and then just fireball the room and hope that it gets it. It will evade spells when it is not present on the plane that it's on. Now, additionally, normally when a creature leaves your threatened space, you get an attack of opportunity on it. It is changing realities, so it cannot be hit when it phases from one situation or one plane to another.
Okay, makes sense. So we know where the phase spiders are. So, Koro, do you want to go to in the opposite direction or the direction of the phase spiders?
Let's go left.
Okay.
That's my
Après-
vote.
Après-vous.
All right,
I'm in
here's what
favor
I'm
of
going to
that.
do. This is a long, windy passageway, and so
Mhm.
I am just going to reveal the entire thing as you guys travel along it.
Long, windy passageway of nothing.
For a good long ways, yes. Go like this.
So kind of the developers.
Well, they didn't know I was going to be doing this, actually. There we go. All right. Let me just
Boop.
close that crap out. Okay, whatever. Once you make it to... Oh, okay. So here's what we're going to do.
Is Sylvia about to get hit with another rolling boulder?
Just go like that. There we go.
Probably.
Okay, and then I'll just get rid of that one. Oh, no. I can't undo it. God damn it. Give me a second. That's more like it. And then I'm going to go like that, and like that, and then, so given the fact that you already rolled a good perception check, and the person with it is within sight, you can see that there are two Grick that have camouflaged themselves into the walls and are just waiting for someone to walk within range before they strike. Now, that said, since they're in ambush mode, they're not going to move until you do, so you could actually just walk away.
Okoro wants to kill them.
I'm
I'm
cool
up
with
for
that.
murder.
Okay,
Yeah.
roll initiative.
Hold up. Well, before combat begins, I use a pact magic thing as, I guess, would this be a surprise round?
No, they see us and we see them.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
But they're not moving until we move, so
They're gonna get Ajored. I'm pretty sure that happened to the last Grick.
I think I'm still waiting
Sylvia, what are you doing?
on Raz.
It's not my turn.
Oh, I thought we were.
We are going into combat, but you haven't rolled initiative yet.
I thought you said we could do something. We were doing something before combat. That's why I wasn't rolling.
Oh,
I
okay.
said something and Alex said no.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. So, Azure, you're up first.
Well, looks like I can move to about here, but I'm just going to dash all the way so I can be right next to them.
Oh, okay. That triggers an attack. Um, incidentally, Grick don't understand actual spoken language, so you can actually just talk about them. They can't tell the difference between that and anything else. So the party is assumed to know that all of these creatures are present.
Are they within reach where I'm at for me to Warhammer them, or do I need to move in?
If you move in any closer, you'll be within their reach, and they don't have 10 foot, so you're fine where you are.
So they're within my reach, my attack range.
2 is. I don't think 1 is. It's
That's
hard to
fine.
tell.
I'm getting rusty. I had too much stew.
I mean, in all fairness, it was pretty good stew.
Yeah, who knew troglodyte was, all that tasty?
I'll blow a key point to kick this guy twice. My best series of attacks. I'm gonna get out of people's way just in case anybody else needs to come charging in.
Gricks are fairly similar to the rocks that they pretend to be, and their skin is fairly stony. So while you struck the creature, it mostly was deflected by its natural armor. So you managed to do some damage. It squeals, and Ivar is up.
Ooh, I guess I'm just gonna dash. Not exactly sure how far that'll get me.
Well, each square is 10 feet.
Okay. So that gets me to the front part of this one right here.
Okay.
Is Grick 2 in my line of sight?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Oh, but never mind. I forgot. I didn't want to use a spell. I'm just used dash. I didn't use expeditious retreat, so my turn is over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to use a spell slot.
No worries. Raz?
All right, Raz is going to move over here, and then vicious mockery on the Grick number 2.
Okay.
All right, and then backing up, done. And let me hit this thing.
All right.
Okay. What will you do, Sylvia?
I'll move over here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see Grick 2 from here?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna fire off a guiding bolt at it. I am going to do my once per day ability because I keep forgetting it exists. This is called Favored by the Gods, and I can add a 2d4 to something.
Okay.
So I'm going to add that to the attack roll. Don't roll ones. Don't roll ones. Okay, so that's a 16 instead of an 11.
That hits.
Just so you're aware, you can actually roll favored by the gods after you miss.
That's what I did.
But you don't have to state it before you actually roll.
But I rolled the miss, and then I rolled it. I'm not sure why
Never
you're bringing
mind.
that up. Okay,
Uh,
whatever.
Okay.
Bunch of radiant damage to the thing, and it is
Bloodied.
and easy to hit.
Somewhat. Right. So the creature is now outlined in golden light. The next
And I
person.
sort of
Go on.
I sort of pushed my way back past Ivar and Raz, and my turn.
Do you go whoop 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 whoop?
The Grick rears up.
Nom nom nom.
It swings its tentacle at you, but having failed to hook you with it, is unable to bring you close enough to its beak to attack again. This creature is going to move like that, I suppose. So it's within 5 feet of Azure. Wait a minute, that's not right. He needs to move more like that. So he was never within 5 feet of Azure, because he wants to attack Okoru. And he misses with his tentacle, so there's that. And
I've
then
had better tentacles around me than that.
Oh, jeez.
wait a minute, how did I didn't no. I'm fine. Azure, or sorry, Okoru, you're up.
I think it's actually Azure's turn.
It is Azure's turn. No wonder I got it wrong. Air quotes wrong. Oh, what?
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm done.
Okay.
Actually, wait, I'll move down a little. There we go.
Azure, geez, that
So
beak is so unnerving.
once in a century event.
Yeah, it is.
Oof.
That you missed and that you rolled nat ones. Cool. So Okoru, you're up.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sylvia.
You are very welcome.
Was it just the first attack that gets advantage, or?
Yeah, just the first one.
Ah, okay. Still,
Kill.
I'll get up to this one. I'll get a nice kick to the face.
Creature goes down.
Right to the face.
Apparently,
Oh.
you came very close.
Oh,
Can
I'm
it
sorry.
even
I'll just spend the key point.
Can it even be said to have a face?
That beak is its face. Okay. Oh, that's a good sign.
Okay. That's it for me.
End the turn.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Ivar, you're up.
All right, I'm moving into like the same square generally.
Yeah, you guys are 5 feet from each other.
And we both have reach
Yep.
essentially. So okay, I'll just attack Mr. One.
Poke, poke, poke.
Woohoo!
Attack one again. And that is a miss. And my blunt end attack. Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
Partially resisted. Huh. Oh.
Oh.
Against blunt?
No.
Against bludgeoning, or?
Well, it's against something. Unless you identify it, you won't know. But
Well, it wasn't against slashing, so.
We've faced these things before, though.
Yeah,
Remember
I don't remember.
oh,
the
well then in that
first-
case,
on
I'll
the
just
first
tell
level?
you. They they have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
Ah, okay.
So
It
what
should be.
it should be magical, but
Yeah.
that's because you added in the blunt end without
Oh, I see. Without it
yeah.
being +1.
So
Sorry.
no, it's okay. Just go in there and for the damage type, add comma magic just like it has for the halberd, and that should do it.
Right after the halberd part of the.
It says
Oh,
1d10 plus. Do you know how to add it?
well, I'm asking where do I add it?
Oh, use the magnifying glass,
Okay,
and then
I
it's going to
see.
bring up this information.
Mhm.
And you already have the +1 bonus on here, so you just
Mhm.
need to add comma magic, and you'll be fine.
Okay, so. Uh, bonus 1. I don't know exactly where to add it. Sorry.
It's okay, I got it.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Oh,
Cool.
that is
Oh,
gross.
that doesn't work.
That should work.
Do you want me to re-roll or just to check or?
Let me see. You could go to. Okay, reroll. And we'll keep whatever the new roll is. Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
Crit too. So
Well, that's the problem. Can you go to? Do you remember how to do crits? Apply crits on your own.
Yes.
Okay. Can you add the modifier for crit to your attack and then roll? Because I
Yes.
had forgotten already.
Add the modifier and then roll. Okay.
There we
Oh,
go. Okay,
all
much
right.
better.
Cool.
So, anyways, the Grick is now bloodied. You managed to find one of its sensory pits, which was not recognizable anywhere else on it, and jabbed it in the eye effectively. Anything else?
Nope. I will move.
Did you pull invisible off of Raz so that they don't get advantage for this?
I will. Done.
All right. I'm going to move here. I'm going to take my crossbow. And then doot. Doot. Oh, come on. I'm not used to attacking with weapons. The hell do I click? This? Yes.
Yep.
Nice.
that's pretty darn good for
All right,
basic
all done.
cross.
Yeah.
Okay. End your turn.
All right, thank you for reminding me.
Sylvia, you're up.
I will just do what I always do.
But you have to shout it.
Eldritch Blast. Pew pew.
It did.
Just hit it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that, corpse.
Now cast Shillelagh.
Gladly. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Skip him. The creature. Well, he is dead. So that's pretty much it for the room. Put this back on Azure. There we go. And let me also set the rounds back to 1. So once you make it a little further into the room, you can see some leftovers from the Grick's other meals, but none of them had any treasure. It mostly seems to be other dungeon animals as opposed to humanoids.
Well, whatever. That was fun.
Where to next?
I will.
Nice.
Before we leave the room, I will regenerate my spell slot using my sorcerer points. Because I literally can't do anything else with them anyway.
Off to face spiders we go.
Yep.
I guess.
Okoro hands the warband gang some more beer. Just wait up for us. We're gonna kill these spiders.
Sylvia has a swig of beer too.
Okoro will happily drink with Sylvia.
All right. Considering that these are ambush predators, I'm going to use a level 3 slot to invisit both Sylvia and I. Because these could come from behind, so no amount of preparation is going to save that.
Thanks.
I can apply it. I thought I could apply it. Maybe I just do. Yes. Haha.
Okay. So let me mask and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there we go. That's how far you can see down the corridor. It seems to branch off, a passageway leading kind of to the east, another one leading due south. Now, the one leading off to the east is unworked stone. The one leading off to the south continues to be more the same structure that you've already explored.
Okay.
Which way do the footprints come from?
The footprints come from the east, I believe. I'm double checking. Yes, they do.
Does that mean Raz wants me to follow the footprints?
I mean, that depends on how we want to do this. You're in the lead. I just want to make sure that we had all the information.
Okay. Well, you folks have invisibility on you, so we don't want to waste that
Oh, we've
following.
got an hour of it, so
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we get advantage on stealth?
No, because there's still noise that you can make.
we should actually make those rules probably to
That
avoid.
is a good idea.
So once you make it to this side
Wow.
passageway where the footprints come from,
Mhm.
spider webs drape across these tunnels, clinging to anybody that would attempt to pass them. You might be able to burn them away. However, you've had a bad experience recently with burning away webs, so you're a little hesitant to do so. But any of these web-covered areas beyond, basically every square, will count as difficult terrain. And they're not strong enough to cause the restrained status effect, but it's still difficult. And you guys have a torch, so you could always just sort of use that to burn out a 5 foot space in the web, but it will be a little bit slow going. And the spiders, of course, will not be slowed by it at all.
Okay. Or Koru, unless somebody tells him not to, he's inclined to burn the webs. It eventually worked out fine last time.
Well, the only other thing that I'll add is just that doing this will end up breaking stealth. So you are considered to no longer be in stealth while you're burning the path ahead.
Okay.
So would you like to go to the north or to the southeast? Yeah.
Do we see any footprints?
The footprints are coming from the southeast, maybe. The webs also cover the floor here, and it makes it a lot more difficult to tell where they came from. Whereas in the other direction, there are no footprints on the floor, lots of dust, footprints in the dust.
Okay. He'll keep moving southeast then.
Okay, let me first of all reveal up, and let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you guys can see all the way up to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically all the way to there. Alrighty then. There. That's a little
Okay.
wonky.
Might be a donut.
It could be.
Also, with you burning away the webs, it prevents us invisible folk from turning into just like, ooh, ghosts with sheets on us.
Yeah, that was definitely part of my thought process was better me being out of stealth than you folks. Bernie, Bernie, Bernie. Fire is the answer.
Okay. You continue burning your way through the webs. There's no overt reaction to all of this yet.
Okay.
So you feel justified in doing what you need to. Okay, move it along, Brandon.
Okay.
And here, go like, guess, say that. There. So you reveal a larger opening in the cave beyond. There's like a 20-foot high ceiling in here.
Okay.
It seems to be empty. Drawing more of the map.
No cocoons or anything.
Not in this space, no. There is a space that continues up to the north, sort of supporting your donut theory.
Hmm.
So maybe up that way.
I'm gonna investigate down here. Is this area clear?
Funny you should mention that. As you
Hooray!
step into the space to investigate, I'm actually gonna shift. Shit. Here we go. I'm gonna shift you down to here.
Okay.
Suddenly, four large forms start phasing back into the prime material plane, and they are all very much looking at you. And
Nom
in
nom
so
nom.
doing, you end up being shoved into that corner by
Okay.
the spider's bulk. So, initiative.
Are we surprised?
We potentially knew they would be here, so I don't think so.
I'm not qualifying you as being surprised. I looked very closely at their character or at their monster sheets, and there's no indication here that appearing from the prime material plane, da 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 da. Like that would surprise you if you didn't know it was a thing, but there's no specific mechanic that says they get surprise off it.
Okay.
I'm super glad I wasted that spell slot.
Indeed. Okay, so I'm short one person. Okoru.
Oh, I wonder if I rolled the wrong thing accidentally.
There we go. Okay, so now everybody's set. Raz, you are first to act. Um, a bunch of spiders appear directly in front of you.
Are all the spiders in the prime material plane right now?
Yes, they wouldn't be visible otherwise.
All right.
Wait,
Fireball or
is Raz first to act in this
Oh
order?
my gosh, no. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Okay, so this creature pops into existence first. It's capable of climbing on the walls, so it's going to kind of overlap its buddy and attempt to bite you. It succeeds.
Okay.
1 second. Oh, too late. Never mind.
Well,
Don't worry about it. Oh,
okay.
we're about to figure out if they're poisonous.
They are indeed poisonous, and you manage to resist the effect. I just want to make sure that resistance is
Not futile.
taking
Is it a
blank. So it's half damage on a save,
okay?
and so you took half. I'm reading the rest of it. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So that's it. So that one is up. Next is which one? This one. He's gonna move down to here because I want him to be in a different spot. Also attempts to bite you. Lands a
Oof.
critical. And hits for that, and then oh,
Ooh, shit.
okay, and then at the end of his turn, he vanishes,
Okay.
and then it is this spider's turn. Nope, and he bites you, and then also vanishes, and then it is Raz's turn.
The first one that attacked me, though, did not vanish, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Are both of the face spiders now like on the wall, elevated?
I'm going to use numbers so that we're sure that we're talking about the same thing. Space
4 and 2.
4 and 2. 4 is on the wall. 2 is on the ground, partly up against the wall because of boxes. If that makes sense.
So, like, part of it is at a higher level.
Um.
Oh
Actually,
God,
no.
why were you yourself
Or
there?
actually, sorry. Could you pull me out of that? I realized that Okuru is be able to move.
Oh, maybe it's a little hard. Go like that. Move
Thank you.
this back. There.
Okay. So here, first I'm going to attack with crossbow.
Okay.
Face spider 4.
You hit.
Then bonus action bardic inspiration on Okuru.
Okay. Now you can use the bardic inspiration after after I see the roll, right?
Correct.
And it's a D8 or a D10.
D8.
Okay.
Then I have bonus action, reaction, movement. So moving back over here. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Also, can you remove the invisibility effect from me?
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised it didn't get canceled by the attack, but you know, this thing is kind of jank. So, Okoro. Now you'll still Phase Spider 2
Mhm.
is close enough to you that you would take AOPS as is 4 technically, even though it's up on the wall, but you can move underneath 4 and like escape to the north if you so chose to do so.
4 is the one that Raz attacked, correct?
It is, and it's also on the wall, but it's only 5 feet off the ground.
Okay. Is it within 10 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to smack it. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration. So I'll add this D8. Oh, that's a D12, not the right one. I'm not very inspired.
Does an
Um,
11 hit?
you
Does an
know,
11 hit?
it doesn't, and you feel rather sluggish from the poison narratively.
Okay. I'm going to kick it.
Okay.
I'm tired of hammering spiders. I need to kick them in the face. All right. I'm going to spend a key point and force it to make a Constitution save or be stunned.
Brandon,
I
are you
believe.
sure you rolled this character?
Yes.
I just suddenly remembered that you are actually a martial artist as well. And I was like, wow, that's an odd coincidence, I suppose.
This is the reason why I was attracted to the monk class.
Yeah.
So if I can get a Constitution save, DC 14, please.
Okay.
From Phase Spider 4.
Constitution. 16.
Okay. So it is not stunned. That's the best I could do. My AC is going up by 2 because I kicked it in the face. And I am going to spend another key point. And bonus action, disengage, and what?
Shouldn't you do damage with that one kick, or does it?
Oh, yeah,
not?
thank you. It
Yeah.
does. Good point.
Yay.
Okay. Bonus
Okay.
action, disengage and dash. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85. Ivar, I got bit a lot.
You're bleeding profusely, in fact. Anything else?
Not a good day to be Okoru. Duh.
Azure, a very bloody Okoru runs by at top speed.
I'll come around the
You
corner.
see like pus coming out of his wounds from the poison.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yuck.
Uh,
Gonna burn
and
any
smites now.
Incidentally, as you strike the phase spiders and they cry out, they sound like microphone feedback. Sylvia, you're up.
Ooh.
that is not something an animal should sound like.
It's not a normal animal.
Nope.
It's like that demon from Has Been a Hotel.
I'll take your word for
Move
it.
on over here.
I'm gonna have to send you a link, sir.
Oh, okay.
It's got cocksucking references.
Oh, okay. Always a plus.
Gonna blow a pact magic spell on a third level. Third level guiding bolt on phase spider 4 to try and knock it out of the fight. Actually, no, I'll do it on phase spider 2 since I can still see it. Fucking really?
Apparently so. Let me get this.
Yep, no longer invisible. I can get back to about there if I recall. And I'm too far away to use healing light on Okoro, so the only other bonus action I got is to do what I always do and cast Shillelagh, and I am unfortunately
Okay. Number 2. Okay, this one. Hmm. It skitters around and comes to this point and attempts to bite Raz. Any responses?
Nope.
Okay. Failure.
oh god, abysmal AC and abysmal saves.
Yeah, it that poison burns horrifically. And then the creature vanishes. Ivar, you're up. And you're the last person for this round.
Naturally.
Hmm.
So I will expeditious retreat, burning a spell slot to make my movement somewhat decent. 10. Diagonals don't work, right?
Diagonals count as normal movement, not double.
Oh, okay. Perfect. 50. I'm just gonna be in this similar spot as Azure. I guess I can be 5 feet further back, but okay. So I'll try to kill 4.
take vengeance on my behalf.
Okay, and then and there we
Ooh,
go.
Ooh.
You always have ridiculous luck with those blunt
The
end
blunt end
attacks.
crits, yeah.
nicely done.
Sweet, sweet vengeance.
The blunt end pierces the spider's abdomen and guts spill everywhere, and the creature reels, dying and hissing. Okay, so now we go back to the top of the round and phase spider. Actually, let me check something real quick. Phase spider 1 appears here and attempts to bite Ivar. It hits.
No.
No?
No, it doesn't hit. I shield.
Okay, well then, there we go. And next up is,
Don't forget to hit effects AC
Yeah,
5.
yeah, I'm gonna drag it. Yeah.
let's see here. This one plinks in here and attacks Azure. And does that. Wow. Wait a minute, aren't you immune to poison? Eric?
Azure?
I think paladins are immune to disease if I recall. I don't remember poison.
Divine magic. Okay. Nope, you're not immune to poison. So, okay.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
That was a pretty decent roll. And then who is it? Raz, you're up.
Wow.
Please fireball them.
All right. For yep, fireball.
Raz is taking requests.
Yes, 4th level fireball. Um, should I be able? I think I can hit both of them and not hit people.
Yeah, like the back of the wall would be a good place to aim.
Yeah, let me see if that is the case though.
It's a big explosion area, though.
20-foot radius, so drawing no pointers.
Remember, it's 10 because the grid's fucked
Yep.
up.
Burn, suckers! Okay.
Rice Krispie spiders.
Shoot. All right. Suckers better. Oh, thank God.
All right.
Alex, it sounds like you're trying to take my spokeswoman job.
And then I had 1d6, I believe, for it being upcast.
Okay. Both of those creatures are in at least bloodied.
All right, and then bonus action Bardic Inspiration on Ajor,
Okay.
and then running the fuck away 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30. Okay, I'm done. Let me hit this.
Okoro?
You're Kensai Monk. You have range.
And actually, you do have a straight shot to Face Spider 1.
Probably have about 40 movement, I would guess.
You could move there, shoot, and move back.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I will activate Kensei shot. And
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
Nice.
Kicks and longbow attacks. That's what it is.
Most excellent.
Okay. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Just make sure. My AC resets to normal, and that will be my turn.
Okay. Azure, you're up.
Kill it.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
A little
Nice.
overkill. Never hurt anyone.
Wait,
Murder.
were you attacking 1 or 3?
Well, he killed one, so
But like 3 is the one next to you.
okay. Well, 3 is now 1.
It doesn't really matter.
No, not especially.
There you go.
It definitely doesn't now.
Holy
Unless
shit. Okay.
Going to slightly adjust you to
I
there.
spoke too soon. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right. I guess we wait for them to unphase.
Well, I'm not gonna...
You can take a reaction for if it appears,
Okay.
I can do that, but
and they appear in melee, so you might as well prepare a melee attack for if it reappears.
That's what I'll do.
Sylvia, would you like to stow any particular action?
what I would like to do is to cast Cure Wounds as an action on Ajor.
Aw.
I need to relocate you to here, and then that's fine.
No, Ajor.
Oh, so
Although
sorry.
I did need to move there anyway.
Okay, well then I'll just
It's-
leave you.
And then as my bonus action, I'll burn 4 healing dice on Okuru.
Oh, thank you.
Okuru heals 14.
Thank you kindly.
And as my reaction, I will be ready to whack the phase spider if it appears in next to me. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Unfortunately, did you already use an action with Cure Wounds?
I did use an action, so do I not get that reaction?
Well, it's not that it's a reaction. If you hold action, that's your action. That you hold the action. Does that make sense?
You just
Okay,
have to use
fine.
your reaction to activate it, so to speak.
Fair enough. Okay, so I don't get to do that.
So the phase spider pops into existence about here, 5 feet or so above you both. It is going to attack Raz.
Cutting
And-
words.
-6. So does a 14
It
hit you?
still hits.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
You've
So
got to get yourself some better AC.
Yeah, we've had no opportunity for me to get any armor that's decent.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice success.
I grabbed a random shield off of a goblin at one point, so
Okay. So this time the poison is not as bad as before, and the spider hangs around. Ivar.
Okay, well, I still have Expeditious Retreat running. 10, 20, 30. So I will come over right here. Oh, sorry. Just, well, anyway.
Shoves Raz out of the way.
I'm okay with this.
All right. Didn't mean to do that, but anyway, I will attack number 2. Angry dwarf just shoves people out of the way.
As angry dwarves do.
And beat the crap out of spiders. You take vengeance on this one too?
No, not on that. And I'm going to action surge because I do want to kill it.
Did I miss that?
Boo.
How do we know Eric's mic died?
Because, I don't know.
Oh, no, I just had myself muted.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that.
Jeez, Ivar.
All right.
Nice.
Just see Ivar just smacking it over and over. Die, 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 die.
Yeah, I decided I needed to use it because these guys do hurt pretty hard. So
Ivar really doesn't like spiders on top of that, so.
yes, there you go.
Okay,
Holy
so
shit.
having murdercated the remaining spiders, let me get rid of this pointer now. I'm gonna have this next spot revealed because obviously that's where you're gonna be going.
Good enough.
Okay.
So there was nothing in that little corner there?
Where they were? No.
No, okay. Fuck you, spiders. I'm re-rolling stuff. Are there still webs that need to be burned?
Yes, and
Ah,
don't worry about
okay.
that. You can just move right along.
Hey, Raz, don't waste spell slots yet.
Okay, so once you enter into this space, like every other space in this cave, it is filled with spider webs. There are several 3-foot long bundles wrapped in spider silk that are suspended in those webs. The spiders have woven a giant webbed face of Halaster that looks down from the 20-foot high ceiling with hollow eyes. The floor is uneven and stained a rusty red.
The little poles there to the top right, the northeast, are those one of the like the dungeon actually doesn't go past here kind of thing?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, so this room is self-contained.
it is.
So there is a web of Halaster and then
It's in the
red.
ceiling, facing downward to the floor.
Mhm.
And then there are webs. And I'm going to take just a second to try to draw a tiny circle. So
Okay.
here's one of the webs. Here is another of the webs. And here is the final web stuck up against this wall, partially anchored to it, and then also suspended from the ceiling. A
So there are
special
three faces.
no.
Oh, okay.
On the ceiling of this cavern, there
Mhm.
is a face that is 20 feet off the ground of Halaster looking down into the room. Separate from that face, there are 3 foot long bundles wrapped in spider silk suspended in the webs.
Oh, okay.
I think these might be some victims.
That
Let's
is
get
the
it.
most likely outcome, yes.
Let's get them the hell out of there. I'm gonna get my dagger out.
Okay. In this particular case, Ivar is probably one of the best people suited to this task because of his halberd. These spider webs are further off the ground, probably because spiders don't really care about height. Just, you know, yeah, we'll pick one and go through it. So when you open up this
Okay.
particular one, what falls out of it is a goblin corpse. It's been desiccated and drained of all of its vital fluids. It has multiple puncture wounds along its torso.
Dench, this wasn't a friend of yours, was it?
He has difficulty looking at the corpse and shakes his head without. Wait a minute. Dench is the hobgoblin. We'll say it was Hank because I remember his name.
No,
Um,
Dench is the bugbear.
the bugbear.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. The goblins don't really want to look at the corpse. Dank says that it wasn't one of. He doesn't recognize it as one of their settlement citizens.
Any good last words that you wanted me to say for them? I don't really know goblins.
Uh, he um he says some words in Goblin that translate to though your death was uh not righteous, may you pass out of the afterlife, blah blah blah, Goblin ritual, so on and so forth. Opening up that one reveals a goblin falls out of the cocoon that you open up onto the floor below. It also has multiple puncture wounds. It looks largely drained of fluids, but it's also clinging to life. Um, it's it's kind of eerie to see the wounds and not see blood dripping out of them.
Hmm.
And its tongue has been removed. It looks like it was torn out at some point. So as soon as it flops out, it very weakly holds up its hands and mimes, the defense of itself, indicating that it means you no harm.
It's all right. It's all right, man.
Okoro will translate in Goblin just in case it doesn't understand Common.
It nods enthusiastically when it starts hearing Goblin, and it points to its wounds and then puts its hands together in a little prayer motion.
Can I make a medicine check?
Sylvia uses a healer's kit use on this goblin, as well as trying to get some fluids back into him by giving him some water and some dwarven ale.
Okay. Can What's the minimum that you can do with the healer's kit?
12.
Perfect. The healer's kit has everything you need to bandage up this creature. You apply, antibiotics, the whole routine. You go through all of the pieces, apply bandages, do all that. Give him fresh water, clean water, and that seems sufficient for the most part to get the goblin back on its feet. It's a little unsteady, but all in all, it looks a lot better than when you first saw it. You know how the lips can get uh, uh, puckered from
Yeah.
dehydration. That is going to start to go away over the next course of.
I'll,
Can
I'll
I
also feed him a little bit of rations. Get him a little bit of strength back.
Okay. He greatly accepts all of those. He How would I do that? I don't know. But because Okoru speaks Goblin, I'm just gonna hand wave it a little bit because he can't talk. He is praising you for saving his life, and indicates that he wishes
Okoro
to follow you.
Okoro asks him if he can write, and if he can, he'll hand
Oh
him some
yeah,
parchment from
he
his
can write in
calligraphy
Goblin.
kit.
So
All right.
let me grab the appropriate text and
Can I also check him to see if there are any signs that he's going to explode in tiny spiders?
Oh, medicine check was already performed by Sylvia when she used the healer's kit. This
Oh,
creature was food rather than something to be bearing a creature's young, but very excellent thing of you to think of.
and I assume, Ivar, you want to cut down the third cocoon as well.
one. Uh, there. And then I have to do the thingy that I wrote about. Click here, click here, click here. Only Okoro knows what that arrow is about.
All right. Okoro explains this is another of Azrock's hold. He tells this little dude that we've actually got a war band of Azrocks hanging out nearby, and he was captured by the Drow and fed to these spiders to appease Lol's Loth, whatever her fuck name is. He's asked to head to Azrock's, so I tell him we're heading that direction with an Azrock warband, and he's welcome to tag along. Every time I hear Lolth's name, I think she must be the god of trolls. Lol,
I know,
lol, lol,
right?
lol.
Well, and there's also the Lotleth trolls of Ravnica who have a similar name. Anyways, opening up the final uh, web cocoon, you find yet another goblinoid. This one's a lot larger. It looks like it was probably the corpse of a hobgoblin at some point. This particular one also seems to have born the creature's young at some point, maybe even one of the spiders that you killed, as there is like when he comes out, his head is actually separated from his shoulders. So that was a particularly gruesome birth.
Well, I already have a hobgoblin skull. I don't need that one.
Oh, but wait, I'm so sorry. I just want to double check and make certain. Uh, Okoro explained what the arrow that I drew pointing to the south is about, right?
I did not, and I was about to.
Good.
So the drow are actually maybe different from the ones that we murder-fied earlier, and the kind of nicer looking direction that we avoided to squish some spiders. That seems to be the direction of these additional drow. So he'll explain that to the warband to Dench and Co. That like, hey, we're gonna murder some more drow so that you guys look real good for your hobgoblin leader.
Hailed as returning heroes, no doubt. At this point, it is 9:32, so this arrow will actually serve perfectly as a indicator for next session, and we'll be able to. I just kind of want to pick it up. There we go. And we'll know exactly where it is that we're going to be heading. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for running this thing.
No problem. Thank you guys so much for playing. Can I get rid of that?
It is
last
good
pointer?
times.
Rid of the pointer. So you guys are. I love that you guys are picking up all of these orphaned goblinoid creatures.
It's Okoro's delight. He has his own kind hanging out.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, well, then we will pick up next week, and bye for now.
Good night.